Alrighty, y'all, we are live doing a pop-up style. I was planning on doing one today, but I didn't know if the weather was going to really let me. We're still sprinkling outside a little bit, but it's light enough to where I'm going to come out here and do a live. We're doing some more archery stuff. I feel like archery type stuff, shooting sports type stuff, that being like my slingshot, my sling, my different bows that I have. I'm going to do a live involving that pretty frequently because I want to keep up with that stuff. I always want to continue practicing. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the bow. We're just gonna use the compound bow today. If you guys have not yet seen it, as anybody's coming in, I'm gonna mention it many times throughout today's live. If you haven't seen it, I have a video up about me purchasing and setting up the compound bow that's in this case, and you should go check that out. It's a cool video, and there's a giveaway in it. We only have 2 entries into the giveaway so far. The giveaway entries end on this Wednesday. So if you go over there now, you got a good chance of joining the limited number of entries to the giveaway, possibly winning a brand new $100 bow sight. So check that out if you haven't already. We're not hunting anything today, although I did just pick up some of the cheapest broadheads on Amazon, not on Amazon, in Walmart, to shoot at pumpkins, actually, for a future live. I'm going to do a live probably next weekend where I take all of my shooting sports, target sports, whatever you want to call them, things. I do shepherd sling, like what David in the Bible used to kill Goliath. I have an atlatl that is over here. An ancient spear throw to throw these. I built this in a previous video. I've got a couple of bows. I do slingshot. I do knife throwing, and we're gonna do a fall themed thing. We're gonna go get some pumpkins and see how the pumpkins handle all these different target sports things. I think that's gonna be cool. But I got some broadheads to shoot at them. But yeah, we're gonna go just unpack the bow here. It is raining, so I don't want to like stand out there for longer than I have to. We're gonna unpack the bow, show you what's up if you haven't seen it before, and then we're gonna head over there to a little plot of woods behind my house and go shoot for a bit. So here's the bow. There it is. I have. Is my chat frozen? No, I see you, Stu. I wasn't responding to comments yet. I was kind of just talking, getting everybody filled in. I do see you though. This is the bow. I've only had it for about 2 months now, as I said. If you haven't checked it out yet, I know there's people coming into the chat. I have a brand new video, I think it's less than a week old, about me purchasing and setting up my new compound bow here. If you haven't checked it out, it's a pretty cool video, and I actually do a giveaway of this sight in that video. The entries for that giveaway are still open for another 2 or 3 days. Yeah, there's only 2 or 3 entries to the giveaway so far. So if you go over there now, you have a good chance of actually winning this bow sight. When I ordered it, they accidentally sent me 2, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to give back to the community a little bit. If you take a look in here, I actually have some cool new stuff to show you that nobody's seen. We got Andrew's Angling and Game, who's new to the channel, and awesome member Stuart in there chatting. Let me know who's there. But this is new stuff that none of you guys have seen. You guys have seen the bow and my whole setup on that video and on a couple of live streams I've done with it. But I have 2 new pieces of gear. Members have seen one of them, but nobody's seen the other. I had a Cabela's gift card that I needed to use, and I needed some more arrows. I had a set of 12 functioning Easton 6.5s, but I got a couple of the dysfunctional ones over here. If you take a look throughout my shooting them for the last little bit, I've done a lot of stuff like this where I've torn a vein from hitting it with another arrow or something like that. I've like lost 1 or 2 of them, random stuff like that. And I needed some new ones. I only have 5 functioning 6.5s left. So I bought another set of 6. That's what's over here. The only thing is, I got them cut and set up, all that sort of stuff. But these are equipped with the new vanes. These use glazer vanes. These use bully vanes. So they're ever so slightly different in weight. So until I completely switch over and refletch these with these new vanes, I'm going to keep using these. And these will just sit here and wait for the time being. I can get 2 bows like that for $150 on Sideline Swap. Well, there you go. Mainly, you were just emailing me. I'm very intrigued as to why. I get excited when other creators email me. Usually it's pretty fun. I've had some good email conversations with Stuart and Randy, and actually I've only ever texted Bob, but other creators emailing me is always pretty fun. So, anyway, I got that, and then the other cool thing that only members have seen so far is I just bought a new release. There were a couple features, and I'll talk about these throughout the live, that I was knowing I would want for like a long-term release, as opposed to the El Cheapo one that I've been using. And most of them were like 85 plus bucks to get what I wanted. I'm like, we'll just kick that can down the road and wait. I walked into the bow shop to pick up my arrows. I dropped off these arrows that I was just showing you with a bow tech to do them for me, and he needed them overnight to get it done. So I came back the next day to grab my arrows, and I saw this release. I'm like, that has everything I wanted, and it's $10 cheaper than anything else I've seen. So I shot it a couple times, really liked it, and I bought it for 70 bucks. These are discontinued now, but they do have an updated version. So yeah, this is the Cobra Moment. I'll talk about why I really like it throughout the live today. But new release, a couple of new arrows, but we're only going to take these 5 over there. Grab those, get my stabilizers on the bow, and then go grab the target. Cobra's the best. Travis likes Cobra, whatever I'm saying. Yeah, it's a trigger release like my other one, so I don't have to hold it. I can use it for hunting and target stuff, but it has a hook instead of calipers on there. My old one had a lot of trigger travel. If you watch it, I'm putting pressure and it's not moving. It just breaks over. It's great. There's 0 trigger travel on it. And instead of this bar in the middle, it actually has a string, so I can't like torque stuff with it. It's great, and it was cheaper than I thought I was going to spend on it, and I said, let's snatch that up. They're discontinued, which is why I think it was so cheap, because I looked at the updated version, which has a couple more features, but it's not that different, and it's like $125 or $130. This was $70, so maybe I got a good deal. But yeah, I've really liked it. I put probably 80 shots through it so far. Mainly says this is a hobby I've always wanted to get into. Yeah, getting into archery is fun. If you're just getting into it, I'd say start with recurve. It's cheaper, it's more simple. There's also not as many things like barriers to entry. You don't need to know what your draw length is. You just draw it out full and it'll still work. It's just the further you draw it, the harder it gets. So like you don't have to know your draw length, all that sort of stuff. It's just easier. So yeah, I'm going to be releasing a short about something that happened with my recurve in the next maybe 2 weeks. Super interesting. I'm not going to reveal anything now for the sake of keeping it suspenseful. But yeah, let me get my stabilizer bars on there. Woodsman's in here. I'm banned from all new hobbies. Yeah, I don't have a wife yet. I have a girlfriend, and she actually is very supportive of what I do. She thinks it's cool that I just like doing so many different things. But yeah, I don't know. She does find it funny, like how enthusiastic I get about certain things, though. Like sometimes I'll come to her and I'm like, oh my gosh, about XYZ. And it's super funny because if you guys have listened to any of my videos before, the blue compound bow that was given to me to mess around with and just kind of learn on before I got this one, her dad gave that to me. So her dad and I will sometimes be chopping it up about stuff, and she'll just be looking at us like we're both nuts. It's great. What's the hobby here? Bow. Archery. Is Randy in here? Did I miss Randy? Oh no. Okay, so Stuart's mixing it up. Stuart, I can't blame you. So Ozark's Woodsman, not Randy. Ozark's Great Adventures, that's Randy. That's why I just call them Woodsman and Randy, because then it's easier. Because if I say Ozarks, nobody knows who I'm talking to, except for the one who I'm talking to. So, hey, Raptor Will's in. I like to call people by their channel names as opposed to their real name, just because like then people in the chat looking at it know who I'm talking to. But Great Adventures is a little bit weird. I could say that, so I just call him Randy, and then Woodsman's Woodsman. I think it's a good system. All right, let me get the stabilizer bars on. So mainly, do I get like a sneak peek of what you're emailing me about, or do I have to just wait and see? I'm excited. It's always good to find a gem in your email, because like I get 30 emails a day, and like 29 of them mean nothing to me. All right, got that set up. Grab the target. Ooh, that's the other thing. I was at Walmart today in the archery section, and I saw a little screw-in thing that you screw into trees, typically for while you're up in a tree stand rather. But I'm gonna put one on the tree that sits behind the camera while I do the archery lives back there, so I can have one. I don't have to put it on the ground. It was like $4, so I just bought one. There it is. All right, we're good. Hey, Den's in as well. Sweet. All right, here's the deal. Put that there. All right, so we need the hanger. You have a day off too now. Thomas, I think you know this. I commute, so I just got home and decided to start up a live. Go practice archery in the rain. And then I'm going to do some work on the last Gyutaku for the upcoming Gyutaku learning curve video. And then that should be coming out maybe in a week. I don't think it's going to take me super long to edit it. It should be pretty easy, but I never like to make promises because you know how that works. So. Okay. All right, we're going to have to do this in 2 trips. So let's leave our beautiful bow here. Take a trip with the target and the arrows over across the street, and maybe we'll put in our hook. It might lapse in connection because this is my house, and then as I walk across the street we're gonna lose Wi-Fi and it's gonna have to go to cellular data. Thomas, did you see what happened to James Franklin? Yes, I did, and I can't say I'm happy because that means that our season isn't going well, but I have not wanted James Franklin to be the Penn State head coach for years, so I'm not too upset about the fact that he's gone. For probably 3 years, my dad and I have both said that we don't want him to be the head coach. So now that he's gone, I can't complain. The school bus, where'd it go? There it is. I don't know why I turned the least efficient way possible. Oh my gosh, what a traffic jam. My road never has this much traffic. Yeah, 2 Thomases in the chat. Thomas, the orange Thomas, is someone I knew in high school. I say that like it was a long time ago. How many months has it been since we were in class together? Like 5? I'm a freshman in college, and so is Thomas. Let me fold up these legs so we can get through the brush. Ooh. All right. Hopefully the connection's good. Let's before we do anything, a new bow holder up. The question is, do we want it on this tree or on? I think I want it on this tree. Practice your tuba. Thomas is a great tuba player. That's primarily how I knew Thomas. I had some other things I did with him, but Thomas and I were in the band together for a very long time. I was a trumpet player. Still am, and Thomas still is a tuba player. It's just we were players together, and now we are not. All right, this thing, I'm just gonna like put it here, twist it in. That'll be perfect. Junior in high school, yeah. Thomas and I are. See you around. Stay warm. Thanks. I will. It's not the. I'm actually, for the first time since like February of this year, I'm wearing my boot. Only when it's cold and wet do I wear my boots. All right, I'm gonna go grab the bow real quick. You guys are just gonna stay here, entertain yourself for like 2 minutes. All right, we're back. Put you all right there. All right, we're back. Put you all right there. Hopefully you can see the target. Oh yeah, it's going. I'm gonna preface this because everybody always asks. I'm using the selfie camera, which flips everything. It's gonna look like I'm left-handed. All right, this is always fun. Not warmed up at all. Let's see how the first grouping goes. It's always fun to get an idea of how you'd be with no warm-up whatsoever. You release? All right, here we go. Drained it. That was an absolute dot. My release is like on one click too loose, so let me fix that. As I said, this is brand new, so figuring out where it like fits me right still. Yeah, that's probably an inch right. I've always liked the short vanes. Yeah, these are 2-inch vanes. I like them. All right. That one was a little low. Ugh. I mean, like maybe 1.5 inches, but still. 20 yards, we should be, even with no warm-up, we should be draining them all. That one's good. Whisker biscuit can get hairy if the veins are longer. That was a pretty good group. How many pounds am I set at? Well, when I get it set at the bow shop, which it's settling in, so I imagine it dropped a little bit. It's a fairly new bow. I had it set at 65. It might be at like 62 now, but it was at 65. I will continually mention this throughout the video, but if you have not seen it, I have a less than a week old video out about me building that bow. It's like 2 months old, the bow. And in that video, there's a giveaway for the sight that I use. So if you haven't gone and checked out that video, go check it out, because you have the chance to go win a sight. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, I had a weird lapse in connection. Hopefully people come back. Last 2 shots were good if you didn't see them. That one was definitely to the right, but not by too much. I'm not happy with it, but it's okay. Go pull those and I'll be back. You know, if you're staying here, it says I got 5. I definitely, shooting in this rain is actually revealing to me that I probably want to shorten this release up a little bit more than I have it, just because out here, but in the rain it's kind of slipping a little bit, so I might want a little bit more wraparound. I can't tell if that one's good or bad. I really can't. They kind of had a weird angle because the bag shifted. So I don't know. We'll look at it in a minute. That one's a little low. Ugh. Put you guys right here. And I'll bring the target over. Alright, so hopefully you can see it. This one, like 1/16 of an inch outside the dot, so it's maybe an inch from center. Same thing with this one, an inch from center. This one's about ½ inch from center, little less than an inch from center, about an inch from center, and they're all right. So if they're off, generally, they're either middle or right. So I am shooting right, and I'm not sure why. As I said, that has been a trend the past couple of days, so I'll have to look at that. It frankly might be as I said, one of the reasons why I wanted this new release is A, it has a hook, so it only releases from one side instead of the calipers from the middle. And it didn't have that stick, so it's not as easy to torque, which is a good thing generally. But maybe I was, like the way I was holding it was always torquing it one direction, and now with the new release, it's not. Maybe not, I don't know. That's my best guess as to why it's doing this only since I've got this release. So, yeah, we'll look at it. We will look. Yeah, we're only shooting 20 yards. It's like 22, but, yeah. We can, at max, bump it out to 30 with this little range setup I've got. That's all I'll ever get out of this range. Like, I can't do anything to make it further than that. But having 30 yards in your backyard is pretty good. This actually isn't part of our property. It's a preserve that the township has. Public township land. But, like, you know, it's just a whole bunch of trees, so nobody uses it for anything. I come back here and shoot, and it's fine. Nobody uses it for anything but me. And actually, I walked through here because there's a little creek. Super tiny tributary of a bigger creek I fish in. But I noticed that the only other person who seems like they use any of this land is someone else who has a recurve target set up back here. So I guess this is what people do. Bob from Anyfin's in. Awesome person who I've collaborated with in the past. Raptor Will is in. Awesome member. SB Bros in from Anyfin, it seems. Thanks guys for coming in. We're just shooting. I got a new release, so we're shooting that. Just practice because not much else I can do in the rain. I'm gonna do some work on, so draw it back this way so you can see. This is what my elbow actually looks like. Here, I'll turn it this way so you can see. My elbow is bent. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. My elbow's bent. Focus on my follow-through. Well, my follow-through may be horrible. We can talk about that in a moment, but my elbow's definitely bent. So what don't you like about my follow through. Should be in the deer stand more and more. They don't mind getting wet. Yeah, I haven't hunted with this yet, so this is new. I'm taking this year to get ready, and then I'll take it out next year. Glitchy. Focus on my follow through. Yeah, what's wrong with my follow through? Let me know, and I'll either take it or leave it. The advice you give. I'm always open to advice. Doesn't mean I'm going to listen to it, but I'm always open to hearing it. Let your bow drop down. That's what the sling is for. Yeah, except mine, I shot it in super slow-mo on a video before. It doesn't really like to go anywhere. Look, my hand is completely open. This is where it sits. It doesn't tip at all. It really doesn't. And if you drop your bow right after the shot, that's a bad move. Everybody knows that. You don't want to like drop or raise your bow or pull it right afterwards. You want to let it sit where it wants to sit. I can completely let go of my bow and it just sits there. That's where it likes to sit. Yeah, you don't want to drop your bow right after the release, because then that builds a bad habit and you might drop it before the arrow's even gone. You just want to let go and let it sit where it sits. So I mean, I'm hitting the dot in dead center from 20 yards. So, if you shoot fine and that works for you, that's great. But I talked to my girlfriend's dad, was a previous target archer. I talked to lots of people at Lancaster Archery, and some of the ways that I shoot now, my form, is based on stuff they told me, and it's really helped me improve to where I am now. So I'm gonna keep sticking with it because it's made me a lot better. That was a good hold practice. Bow should not drop after the shot. If it does, you need a stabilizer. Yeah, that's why I got these. Yeah, that was a good hold practice. I held that for like, I don't know how long, and then shot, and it was good. Watch my professional, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Their bows have gigantic, like a lot of them have 20-inch front bars that make their bow go like this when they're done. You just want to let the bow do what the bow wants to do. My bow does not want to go anywhere. Therefore, it doesn't go anywhere. I'm not inhibiting it from going anywhere. That'd be bad. That's like if you're like gripping the bow like this, that's not a good move. Yeah, you don't really want to do this, but I'll shoot it with a completely open hand and it still won't go anywhere. Watch. It doesn't really go anywhere directly after the shot. So you can like kind of get it to tip forwards if you completely let go of it, but you don't want to completely let go of it. You just have your fingers right here and it kind of sits there. A lot of the people who shoot Olympic too shoot finger slings, which operate a lot different than a wrist sling does. So I totally understand what you're saying. You don't want to inhibit the bow from going somewhere if the bow naturally wants to go there, but my bow really doesn't. So yeah, just keep it out of the wood. All those shots are on the target, so they're not in the wood. All right, put this up on the bow stand, go grab those, come back. wondering, because I know I might have stated this, I was just thinking back on what I said. I might have stated this in a way that was somewhat improper. I don't mean that like the arrow's still on the bow by the time you're dropping it, but if you let yourself get the habit, because as whatever his name is, the Circle of Life said, yeah, it's going really quickly. However, if you let yourself get in the habit of dropping it, you almost anticipate it, and then you do drop it before you even let go of the arrow. So you don't want to get in that habit because it causes bad things. I've listened to a lot of people who are just a lot better at shooting than me. These aren't things from me. These are just things I know from other people. I have my own experiences and observations that I've made, and that will be in a future video. But that's more just like, oh, I interpret it this way, or this is what works for me. I'm not trying to teach anybody. So I completely missed the target a couple of times, even with the crossbow. Yeah, I've done that before too. Most of the time, that's because, if I'm being completely honest, which may sound like a dummy move, it's because I'm like, I was just shooting 20 shots at 30 and I back up to 20 and then it's in the dirt, or no, it'd be high and then it's above the target or whatever. It's because I'm actually using the wrong pin, or now that I have a slider, I have it slid up and I forget. And yeah, most of the time it's not like I do something drastic, sighting it in. Yeah. Most of the time it's not I do something drastic, it's I just do something stupid. Yeah, my bow wants to tip forward ever so slightly like this, and if your full hand's open, it'll go. But it doesn't do much other than that. Like shooting a high-power rifle, really hard not to anticipate the kick. Yep. That's why, as I said, I just bought this release. It's really, really nice because it gives you no indication of when it's going. Look at this. Watch the trigger. It's got no give to it until it goes. No trigger travel, which really helps you not anticipate the kick because it gives you no indication of when it's going. You just have to build up enough pressure to do it. Brand new release. That's why I bought this thing, because it's absolutely fantastic for that reason. Yep. Yeah, I don't ever really want to like tell people that they're wrong, because I'm not someone here to teach people. I'm here to share my experiences, and if people can learn from my experiences, then that's great. But like, there's a lot of people who I know much more personally than a YouTube commenter who have told me things anti to what that guy said. And he may have reasons for what he's saying, and it's hard to explain that on a YouTube chat. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But, my girlfriend's dad was a competitive target archer. I talked to him a lot. That arrow glitches and that glitches and your arrow just hung in the air. Yeah, do you slowly pull it? Yes. You have to get your finger on it, build, and then it goes. I'm not actually drawing the bow back, but there's still enough mini tension that the arrow went a little bit. Anyone else see that? Yeah, it might be glitching. The rain probably screws with it. Yeah, you gotta pull the trigger slowly. You can do it like that, but as Bob was mentioning, that's a really easy way to get yourself to anticipate it, and then I'll exaggerate it, but you'll be like, here we go, and you'll like jerk right as you let go of it, and that's not what you want to do. And you don't have to go like stupid slow, but like you can't go you can't do that. You can go maybe press. You don't have to go. You can, but pull it fast because they can't hold it steady enough. Yeah, that's the hard part. And I watched a lot of people in super slow-mo doing some demos. And if you're, they call it pin float. Your pin's never going to sit completely still unless you're some sort of like alien, superhuman person. But if it's floating around the right spot, your brain is actually so quick to respond. It feels the bow going, and it can make that little micro adjustment and get you back on target if you're floating in the right area. If you get your float kind of tight, you're probably pretty good, and your brain can handle the rest. It's actually pretty crazy how fast you can react to it. That was weird. It made a different noise than what I'm used to. Is that all 5 arrows? 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4. Are there 5 arrows down there? I don't know. I'll go look. Two birds with one stone. I got a double explanation. Yes, there were 5 arrows down there. And it made a different sound because, and I couldn't see that arrow, and it made a different sound because I essentially shot one of the arrows into the same hole as another. So they were sharing a hole, I couldn't see them, looked like there were only 4, and it made a different sound because it wasn't hitting fresh material, it was sharing a spot. Yeah, I'm still fairly new, especially into compound archery, but a lot of the things I do with slingshot, and I've been doing that for many, many years, carry over. And I've just talked to some really knowledgeable people, and one of the things that I am really good at is remembering what people say. My girlfriend actually sometimes is like, how do you know that? Like, I remember what she said, like, almost word for word a month ago. What I have is I can really well remember what people said. So when I talk to people, I can spew back out the information for people as needed. If you ever want to shoot here, let me know. I shoot with my neighbor a lot and we have some acreage. Yeah, I mean, I totally would. It'd be fun to shoot with other people. I never shoot with other people unless I'm at the public range. And even then, some of them just don't want to talk at all. And then some people will talk your ear off. So it's hard to gauge that. Ooh, it looks so weird. It's a good shot. It looks so weird because it hit the target. It's getting slick down there because of the rain. So when I hit it, it twisted. And now it looks like my arrow came in sideways. It's so weird. It messes with me a little bit. I'm like, wait, why does my arrow look like that? Because the target moved. Miss shooting with my dad and brother. Yeah, I'll join you sometime. Dad and brother, yeah. I shoot firearms. We used to do some range shooting. I've done that with my dad and uncle and grandparents before. but we can't go to that range anymore. But it was a range on state game lands that was just kind of like a quarry that you shot in, and they don't want people shooting there anymore. So we haven't been back there for many years. Whew. One more arrow for this group. I can't even call them a group because I'm not shooting at the same spot. There's just multiple dots down there on the target, and I'm shooting at the individual dot. Let me know if it's still glitching. It's probably because of the rain. Whoa, did you see that? I twitched. That was my bad. I'm getting real tired, so I get twitchy when I'm tired. Oh, but we made a good shot. Ever shoot at Lower Providence? I have not. You'll have to send me that. I know there's a Bowman's Club in Limerick, and they do 3D courses. I'm thinking of maybe joining that eventually, but... Oh. Yeah, did you see that twitch? I'm good at knowing when I'm going to do stuff. I said, ooh, and I didn't let go. I was about to. I didn't do it, because I'm not going to let myself do that. Oh. All right, we're back. They have an awesome course through. Oh yeah, like deer hunting goes. I took a. There's a lot of difference between book knowledge and application, and like I've done, you know, like I can shoot well enough to go do it. It's just getting my legs under me as far as doing that quickly. I could learn it by myself. It'd just take a long time. So maybe doing that, and then next year I will both do bow hunting and rifle hunting for deer. We'll see. I want to get there. I don't mind about like bucks or whatever. I just kind of want to get some meat in the freezer, like bucks or whatever. I just kind of want to get some meat in the freezer, learn how to process it. That's the cool part of it for me anyway. I feel like most true outdoorsmen, that's the cool part. Learning how to, I was watching some of Bob's older hunting videos a while back, and like learning the responsibility of taking a life, using as much of that animal both for meat and different purposes as well. Like for me, I'd take some of the bone and I'd use it for bushcraft projects. I'd take the sinew and use it for bushcraft projects. The hair, of course, I'd use for stuff. Like I'd use as much of it as I could. Learning that process, learning how to field dress it, just all that different stuff. What you need, what you don't. I feel like it'd be a lot easier to kind of get my feet under me with a rifle hunt with someone who does it, and then next year put in some good time with this bow, already knowing how the general process works, and then just try and do it with the bow as well. So that's the general plan. I don't know if that's going to work out, because the rifle hunting season is like, it is November, right at the beginning of November. So like I'd have to get someone to help me quick. So we might just we'll call it learn it the hard way next year and do it myself. Spend a lot of this year prepping. Of course, consistent with the bow. Get some stands put up. I know some people already that I could get some stands put up with. My pastor, I could probably hunt on some of his land. There's a guy literally down the street here on the same plot of woods that I'm sitting in. That there's he lets me fish on his land, and I know he lets other people hunt on his land, and given that we already have that connection, there's a good chance I could be able to hunt there. Like I could get it done. It'd just be a lot harder to do both the bow hunting aspect and the just general hunting aspect at the same time, but we'll see what we can do. I think it's an exciting process. I probably actually only, like, I'd really only want to get a doe If I got a buck, that'd be cool, but like, I wouldn't, if I got my doe, I probably wouldn't go like, oh, now it's time to go hunt for a buck. Like, I'd probably just be satisfied with that. Learn the process, learn some recipes with it. That's what I'm excited to do, more than anything. Learn how to do it the right way, learn how to do it responsibly. So, Eva Gonzalez and Super Cal are in. I'm gonna go pull these arrows. The turkey was so good. I don't know what turkey, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. 8 people in here, 18 thumbs up. I'm gonna keep mentioning it throughout the live. If you haven't seen my most recent video on the channel, it's me purchasing and setting up this bow. And in that video, there's a site giveaway, so feel free to go and enter that. We don't have many entries so far, so if you enter now, you have a good chance of actually winning. It's Thanksgiving where I am. Huh. Are you from a different country? I'm actually gonna shoot a whole group at the same dot. Oh, what country are you in? I thought you were in America all along. I just came upon a realization that may help me with some accuracy, so I'm gonna employ that and see how it goes. Does it look like my arm's really straight in the camera? Because that guy was saying that it looked really straight, and I'm kind of curious. Who, Canada? Canada? So, because like my arm's definitely bent, so I'm curious. Does it look really straight? Six people in here. We have, I think, 3 of the 4 arrows within the dot, and 1 just outside. Oh. I think we got a 4 for 5 in the dot scenario. Yeah, that's 4 for 5 in. I don't know what, actually. So that's what a grouping just all at the same dot from. Yeah. I'll bring you back over here. I know what happened on that first one. So everybody has it a little bit. Yet again, as I said, I'm very good at regurgitating things that other people have said and talking about how they apply, like analyzing stuff. I'm good at that type of stuff. So something that Chris B, a very good archer who does some content here on YouTube, said is that everybody has a little bit of what's called target panic, which is like your brain knows that when you're floating on that dot, your brain's like, all right, we're good to fire, we're in the right spot. And your brain's kind of afraid of what's known as explosions, which is firing a rifle or firing the bow. It doesn't like that jolt. Your brain doesn't like it. So it tries to put it just under or just over or just to the right or just to the left of that dot and not actually sit on it, so that your brain doesn't want to fire. It likes that position more. It feels more comfortable there. So everybody has a little bit of it, as Chris B said, but you can fight it. And for me, my target panic, I like to sit just below the dot. Everybody's brain does a little bit different thing. Mine likes to sit just below the dot. So if I come with my pin over top of where I want to hit and slowly bring it down, because my brain likes to sit underneath, it's much easier for me to fight it. My brain still wants to drop it below that dot, but I have to go further to get there. So it's easier for me to fight it. I've got more tools to help me fight it. So if I come down over top, I'm getting better groups than if I come up from the bottom. So I'm gonna keep doing this. We're gonna go at the bottom left dot now. Glitchy, oh boy, let me I am reconnected, but the rain has picked up worse, who knows? We're not gonna shoot for too much longer anyway. That one was low. I like to be low. That's where my brain wants me to be. But I'm gonna fight him. No brain, you can't be there. Oh, my finger slipped off the trigger as I went to pull it. That was really weird. Good shot once I finally got it off. I mentioned this a couple minutes ago. This is a new trigger. I'm still trying to get it set up. I thought I had it in a good spot, but with this rain, my finger's slipping a little bit, so I'm going to shorten it up a little bit after this live. It's going to help me. I'm sure it's going to help me. Oh, my arm's getting tired. So that whole statement I had about dropping the bow, my arm now wants to do that, so I'm having to fight that. I'm kind of waiting half a second before I drop it, actively like counting it out. All right. It's definitely getting wet and rainy now. Yeah, Super Cal's in. All right, it might get glitchy when I go down there, but we're gonna go look at the grouping. As I said, when I hit the target, anywhere about the center, because it's so wet and slick from the rain, it twists. So it's now twisted. You can see these are all straight like this, and then that one's like that, because it's twisted up. But 1, 2, 3 in the dot, one right above, one right below. And it's generally a fine group. I'm not mad. I'm getting wet. Definitely getting wet. We'll do one more good group, and then we'll call it for the day. The main reason why I'm doing this live, I just wanted to do a little bit of practice, especially with the new release. Yeah, I definitely should shorten it up. But the secondary reason, I want to do some more like promo for the video with the giveaway, get some more people to enter. One final group. We'll go. Someone give me a vote here. Top right dot, top left dot, or bottom right dot. Those are your options. I like to try and wear out the different parts of the target evenly, so I don't just have a giant hole somewhere and everywhere else is fine. Ooh, I just thought of something. I was asked by my family to start putting together my Christmas list because people like to buy it in November, not like December. So, another archery target that has broadhead compatibility. It reconnected. Archery target with broadhead compatibility. That'd be something cool for Christmas. Not just, this one's only good for points. Have 2 targets, that'd be good. Alright, I'm gonna go for top right, or top right dot. That's where we're good.